Looking at the coronavirus updates in Nigeria, a rather outbreak in Nigeria, we'll also look at the extrajudicial killings of the Remo Stars player. But right now, we'll take a report as we know that the governor, Dakwa Abiodun, also visited the family of the Remo Stars player, Tiamiu Kazim, and we also know that the IGP has disbanded the Sars satellite offices after Remo Stars player death. Let's take a look at that report and we'll be right back.
Is being investigated at the highest level. I want to assure you that not only will justice be served, justice will be seen to have been served. The death of your son will not be in vain. We will ensure that we look into it. Unfortunately, this will be an incident through which such incidents will not occur again.
Whatever, because our concern now is justice for the disease. How do we get it? If we don't have adequate information as to what actually happened, we will not be able to get justice for the disease. And that He will not forgive us wherever he is.
And I assure you that those boys that perpetrated they are not really Shagamu indigents. They are hoodlums. It can't happen. We understand our loss and we will grieve. And I'm sure that justice will be served.
The particular company in question has practically shut down, the company. They have set up 2 isolation centers within the company. They have identified all those that have been in contact with this index, totaling about 28 thus far. To that extent, I have been in touch with both ministers of health.
All right, you're welcome back. You're still on to Editors Forum exclusive to Galaxy Television. We took 2 stories back to back from Ogun State. One from the Remo Stars player. We know that the governor, Dakwa Abiodun, visited the family of the killed Remo Stars player. And of course, we also took reports from coronavirus, as we know that about 28 cases, or rather, we have Ogun State government has rather begun trying to trace contacts of the people that were that contacted with the Italian that got coronavirus. We know that the Italian rather went to Ogun State before coming to Lagos. So we also have Ogun State in the searchlight for coronavirus. And we know that the Lafarge, where he does a bit of, what will I call it now? Businesses there in Lafarge, has also been closed down due to the spread of coronavirus. And because of that, the Ogun State government is trying to quarantine the place against the spread of coronavirus. But right now, we're still dealing with the Remo Stars player. And just a point of correction, earlier on, we talked about the Bayelsa judgment. For Bayelsa State, we have Doye Dure as the governor of Bayelsa State as they sacked APC's David Lyon. So we'll kickstart now with the Remo Stars play and the extrajudicial killings. But of course, I will not be alone on today's edition of the program. I have with me Olusegun Wario. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
And of course, we also have Dr. Dayo Kayode. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Pleasure being here.
I hope you were not too scared on the road, because there was a bit of panic due to this coronavirus. I could see everybody yesterday wearing face masks. Face masks became all of a sudden scarce and expensive. Sanitizers were nowhere to be found again. But okay, we'll still come over to that. But let's talk about extrajudicial killings. This is not the first time we're having of such. So how would you relate to this incident?
Yes, first of all, I want to sympathize with the family of the slain footballer, Kazim Tiamiu.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate the proactiveness of the Inspector General of Police, by quickly responding to the people's yearnings. That is, he quickly disbanded the zonal intervention squad.
Yeah.
And again, they came on to, condolence visit Now, basically, the issue of extrajudicial killings, from so far so good, all the IGs, have been watching, following. This IG, I would say, has a proactive response to the yearnings of the people. This present IG, because when the people protest against something, it listens.
Okay.
Then you will see that immediately somebody go against any of the police action. They will quickly look at it, and before you know it, they will take action, and you will see immediately some 1 or 2 actions and remedies, taken. And I would not want to comment more on whether it was an extrajudicial killing,
okay,
or it was, on the other side, according to the alleged claim by the inspector. So, but I would rather, be on the fence to wait for the report, the outcome of the report, investigation. But so far, so good. I know for a fact that that inspector has been court-martialed, and they are waiting. Is awaiting the report. So, once they give the media the report, we'll be able to look at it and hear from the other side, and we'll be able to give our honest analysis as regards the development.
Okay, just to go in line with what you were saying, according to the police report earlier on, they claimed that the late footballer was knocked down by a hit-and-run driver while trying to escape after being arrested, after he had been arrested. So that it was not necessarily the Sars that killed him, but a hit-and-run driver while Sars was trying to arrest him. Okay, let's go over to you, Daniel Kayode. What do you see in this incident?
Yeah, like he said, I too will want to first of all commiserate with the families of Tiamiyu. I mean, it's a big loss, not only to the family, but to the football club, to the state, and even to the federation, because you never can tell what it becomes of him later in his football career. Now, having said that, you see, talking about the police, I don't want to go to whether extrajudicial killing now or wherever. Rather, use that word excesses.
Okay.
Excesses, because under excesses, we can also have extrajudicial killing. It's all part of excesses. And of recent, I've been talking about these excesses as regards what I now call distress of the people. For instance now, look at when I was coming today, between Alagbuli and road safety, it took me almost 40 minutes. Why? Because some people's excesses were too much on the road. One parking here, some others not knowing how to drive and all that. And now when the road was free from road safety to this place, I have to put on my hazard light because I have to be here on time. Do you understand? So also there are a lot of stress with most of these people that are wearing uniform and they know that they can do and undo while on duty. That they face is the police. Not only the police now, all security agencies. Look at what happened on the issue of this NSCD, whatever, this National Security Safety Corps.
Oh, yeah, NSCDC.
Do you understand? Look at what happened. Even the army, the soldiers, the Air Force that shot this Okada guy at Allen Roundabout the other time. So you see, there are a lot of things that combines together to make people to act this way. It is it is a social menace within the environment. Even imagine you having faced the stress of office on your way home, traffic. You will now be praying, oh Lord, let there be light. Oh, meanwhile you are looking at your house now. When I get home now, I just want to off all my dress, go to the shower, sleep inside my AC. As you are opening the door like this, you just hear pim. So people will say NEPA has struck again.
Okay.
How will you? Do you know it's psychologically disturbing? So to that extent, in order to curb these things, because whenever certain things happen, we have to look at the remote causes and then how to curb it. I think the Inspector General of Police should go further, because we are the one appraising him. I mean, I don't want to appraise him based on the security issues we are facing. But mine is, since you said he's a proactive person, so I want to believe he's also a proactive person. Let him go ahead and ensure that, one, the issue of training of these people is paramount. Then the issue of trying to tackle the psychological stress they could be facing at any point in time.
So you're saying that the psychological stress they're facing is what is making them have excesses in their duties?
That's not it. Part of it.
It's part of it. It's contributing to it.
Exactly, because you got to do the correlation analysis now. When you put all those variables and then you do the correlation analysis, you're now going to know the contribution of each of these things to it. Because by the time you now do it, then the Inspector General of Police will be able to know, how to prioritize all those variables.
Okay.
Because we have been seeing more. Look at Dele Udo. That's how we lost Dele Udo. You remember Dele Udo? He came to Nigeria to come and represent Nigeria in one issue like that. He was shot down at along Bagada Road, and a lot of them like that. So it's better for this, our proactive Inspector General of Police, to please quickly look at some of these variables. Okay. Let analysts do some kind of correlation analysis on them to be able to know the contribution of each of these variables, then prioritize how to handle all these menaces.
Okay, still over to you. He talked about training of police officers, or rather security agencies in general. So do you see that a lack of training is what has caused some of their excesses in their operations?
It's not lack of training. Let me quickly correct something. I'm not praising the Inspector General. If you know me very well, I'm very
I say appraise. I'm not saying. I say appraise.
Okay.
Appraise, not praise.
I will not praise any of them. I would rather say the way it is.
Yeah.
Because I don't even collect anything from them. So rubbish. I will not. But once you do what is right, we should be able to tell what you have done that is right and encourage you. And once you do the other way, we should be able to do. So back to what you have said. Yes, you see. The cardinal area of focus of Nigerian police is training,
okay,
operations, administration, and investigation. If you watch some of them, they are good in one aspect or the other. Let me use Kyari as an example. Abba Kyari, he was a close friend of mine when he was the Sars commander in Lagos State. You can see the former IG discovered him and I know that the guy, the DC Kyari, is very good at operation.
Okay.
Operation. So they kept him there. Now, so many I report a lot of stories on policing and or policing operations, and I know the effort of the police, but the challenges of the police that I would want us to rather look at is the financing of the Nigerian police. The financing is not there. And you have an Inspector General of Police that is appointed by the Commander-in-Chief that we elected. And you want him to talk too much to him, that he'll be sacked or be unceremoniously removed. We should tell the politician, who is the president, to see how Nigerian police can be put to a best practice standard. That is what we should talk about. If the police is being funded the way it is, first of all, we will not talk about bribery. Today, some of them will not know you are a journalist. They will get there. They will tell you, I have dealt with a lot of them. But come to think about it, I presented a paper on this issue, in one symposium recently. But my argument is still on the premise that once the federal government decided to fund the police, give them adequate social amenities in terms of housing needs and demands, give them good barracks, give them standard salary, and employ more. One of them told me that they used to do 3 shifting before, but now they have fused it to like 1, so they can work 24 hours. So when you look at all those things, first of all, the issue of manpower is lacking.
Okay.
how do you get efficiency of return in an organization when there is lacking of manpower that is supposed to do this? You be the only one to be doing 6 things at the same time. And that is the psychological part of it that my brother should even include now, in addition to what he has said earlier. So you push them to the wall. There are a lot of bad eggs in them, but there are core professionals in the police too. I can assure you. But the challenges have been that the finances is not there. The needs to develop the police to best practice standard is solely in the hand of the Federal Executive Council headed by the President. Whatever you want the police to be today must come out from that fake.
Let me quickly add this. You see, when he was talking about funding now, housing, and then shifting, you could see that all those things, when you put them together, it's going to have psychological effects on these guys. It's just that I don't want to be as if I want to advertise what I have done. I have a paper already that I've prepared for the police on how to improve the police, and I developed it from the yearnings of United Nations as regards police, using Pakistan, using Burundi here, then using I think Austria and America as case study. Okay, I have that paper with me. I can oblige you that paper if you are close to them to throw it to them. So the issue is all those things, they are contributory factor. When a policeman lives in an environment that is not conducive, when a policeman is buying his own uniform by himself, and this same policeman is not well paid, this same policeman is working 24 hours. I think you understand. There is tendency. I will use that word tendency, because we are not talking about statistical records there, which I have. So permit me to use that word tendency. So there is tendency for that policeman to get to the road and misbehave. Such a person will not be thinking the way you are thinking. The thinking is killed already. Why? Because of series of variables that has contributed to tuning a psychological balance of him. So all those things, if the IG want us to come up with contributory factors to assist him in knowing what to do at any point in time, even at a lesser cost, because the old money that is coming to that place is even too much, honestly speaking, if well articulated to all those variables.
Okay, you talked about he talked about funding, he talked about stress and everything, but what about those in charge of them to make sure that they fulfill their duties? Because I don't think you need so much money for training for you to say, okay, for example, people always complain that on the road, once you just see someone with dreads and then you just tag the person as an internet fraudster.
No.
So don't you see that as an issue from them also? You don't need so much money for you to know that.
See, listen to this. It's still the same problem, all right? These guys, they are not well paid. They need money, by all means.
A lot of people in Nigeria are not well paid.
Look at this guy now. Look at this guy that is involved in killing of Tiamiyu. With what I read, the guy even has a car that is customized by his alias.
Okay.
Oyato. That a car. Oyato. Now, is Oga, perhaps the DPO, will the DPO says he doesn't know about that? And the DPO supposed to know how much this guy is earning. So why did the DPO not query him? Well, oh boy, customization of number alone will cost you nothing less than 50,000. So where is this money coming from? I also read about its extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The way he also spends money. So where is this money coming from? So I'm now saying, even those supervising them, are you sure they are not settling them? Are you sure? Yes, we have had situations whereby they will say they won't post you to where you are supposed to if you don't settle very well. Do you get? There are instances where the police people had complained that the money that was supposed to pay them, that is coming from the top, especially during election activities, the whole money doesn't get to them. And to that extent, I think during the last election, the money was paid to them directly instead of passing through some kind of structure. All right. Yeah. So the issue is, even those that are supposed to supervise them, who are they? Now, let us also go to Police Service Commission, because it's also involved them. The Police Service Commission, what is their relationship with the police force? Because there are two different things now. Yeah. The commission is different from the force. The commission is supposed to direct activities of the force. So what is the relationship between them two? Those are the issues that but because of time, you know, I wouldn't want to go into all the intricacies that are involved. But one thing is very clear: we know what is happening. You remember the head of chairman of Public Service Commission, this former IG, having problem with this IG along the line in terms of promotion of people, of the police force, and then employment. Do you understand? The bottom line is, there are rules and regulations. There are schedules for each and everybody. There are action plans on which this one is supposed to act on, this one is supposed to act on. But to what extent are we all following it? Just as we are not also following our constitution. The bottom line is, there is a systemic failure.
All right, thank you very much. Systemic failure there, and unfortunately, we also commiserate with the family as Tiami Kazim has been laid to rest on Thursday.